Are you wondering what it's like to road trip in a motorhome from Queenstown, New Zealand to Mount Cook National Park? We were as well, and we went on that journey, and during that experience we really get to see what it was like driving on the left-hand side of the road. How are those mountainous road conditions, especially driving in a bigger vehicle? Was Mount Cook National Park even really worth it? And then also it was our first time for both of us having this RV experience, so that was a treat. Today's video we're gonna dive into all those topics and more. A little bit of background. So my partner and myself, she's from Argentina, I'm from the US. I've been here about 90 days now in New Zealand. During that time, we took this particular road trip up to Mount Cook National Park. We also took another road trip out to Glenorchy, another video coming on that. We also bought a used car, which was an experience, going through I think 12 different cars we saw in this area, as well as we've moved. We've had experience living in 2 different suburbs now in the Queenstown area. We'll get into those topics in other videos, but in today's video, we're gonna dive into what you're looking for. Well, my girlfriend actually works for JUCY Rentals here in the Frankton area, and they basically had an offer for some of their employees to basically relocate the camper vans from Queenstown up to Christchurch, and basically you can take it for about 2 days. They give you a full tank of gas. As long as you get there on time, everything is good. But not to worry, if you don't work for JUCY Car Rentals or another car rental while you're here and working on a visa, you can actually check out this website here, and specifically for JUCY, you can actually take advantage of the relocation program if there is a vehicle in the kind of route you're going. What were we driving? So we're driving about an 18, I think 20-foot Star RV vehicle, Mercedes engine. It was big. I had some experience driving this in the past in the States. My girlfriend did not. What was also different was driving on the left-hand side of the road. Who basically was on an adventure? Just me and Trini, my girlfriend, so 2 of us. You can actually fit 6 in the Star RV. Also, this experience was about to take about 4.5 hours getting from Queenstown to the campsite, Mount Cook National Park. We weren't really sure if kind of a little bit of frost or iciness on the roads in the morning because we were leaving early was gonna affect it, or the 1-lane highways you see pretty much everywhere, and sometimes these 1-lane bridges. And lastly, neither of us really had much experience driving distance. That's what we're up against, and we're also excited for it.
Early morning, about 5:30 a.m., getting everything ready here in the JUCY camper van.
Jumped on the roads. You get a lot of trucks flying by you. It was dark, but overall driving at night in New Zealand wasn't too bad. In that early morning, there's a lot of nice sights when the sun finally came up. And one nice thing that we really got used to is that normally if you're driving a car, you gotta find a pit stop or a roadside place like McDonald's. But here you don't have as much of that. So we actually pulled over to the shoulder, over to stop to a bathroom break about midway on the way up there. And that was so nice. Amenities, I'd say, are bougie aspects of basically doing this in an RV. And note, so basically we went during the June time. So that's basically kind of the beginning of the winter time here in the Southern Hemisphere in New Zealand. So I was kind of worried a little bit about black ice, that being an issue in the morning. Okay, so is it safe driving here in New Zealand, in the South Island in particular? So overall, I'd say yes. From what I read online, because I like to do my research always, is that your biggest issue is actually other humans. I read a bunch of articles out there about people in the North Island, the South Island, a lot of foreigners, getting drunk, going to the bar, and then driving home and going on an autopilot and driving on the right side of the road, which that is wrong here. You want to be driving on the left side of the road. Second biggest thing might be some animals. I only saw 1 deer on our entire trip going up towards Mount Cook National Park over to Christchurch and back. Just keep aware and you should be all right. As we got a few hours into the trip, I feel like I got more and more used to driving on the left-hand side of the road. Yes, some of the truckers drive too close, it feels like. Some of the locals love to get around you and pass when there's the dotted white lines, as you'll see here. Hey everyone, thanks so much for making this far in the video. If you're really enjoying it, give us a like, maybe subscribe as well, or drop some comments down below. If you've been in New Zealand before, send it to a friend if you feel it's been valuable so far. Also, check out the New Zealand playlist right here. Everything from buying a used car here, as well as finding housing, cost of living video, ton of hiking videos coming up. Without further ado, let's jump back into the video.
Alrighty, so Queenstown to the base of Mount Cook here. Took us a little over 4 hours in the camper van back over my shoulder there. Figured out a spot for our vehicle and then go explore a little bit. With the little registration hut right there behind me, it looks like you can do it online by the little QR code, which you're gonna go check out right now. Or you can do it old school with cash. You just deposit in the box right back there, and it's $15 per adult. is what it's looking like so far.
So when we looked online, there was, I think, about 2 main campsites kind of close to where we wanted to get, kind of along the lake there. And also note that there is plenty of space. So we didn't book ahead online, and we kind of rolled up, kind of read the instructions and all that, and we found space.
You do see a handful of campers, RVs, maybe 15 to 20 in total right now here in June 2024. So yeah, it's not too busy at all, pretty peaceful.
Basically, that one being that we're there in June, which is the winter time here, all the facilities were turned off as far as the water and the bathrooms go. So no showers, no toilet. But that was fine for us because of our Star RV situation in this particular experience. Also note, if you have a drone like myself, there's no drone flying in the park, so you can't do that. I meant to take out my Insta360 and kind of walk around, get some shots. Did not get a chance to do that, but you could when you are there. Also note, there's hiking there.
Everybody's doing the Hooker Valley Trail in this area. You've seen a lot of people come doing day trips right now here in the winter. It looks like they're getting kind of schlepped in from Queenstown.
I couldn't do it because I'm rehabbing an injury right now, but my girlfriend, she went out there, enjoyed it, got up to the lake. And she said it kind of reminded her of this spot right here, the El Chalten area in Patagonia in Argentina. So overall, I'd say there's a good amount to do there. The peaks are beautiful, as you can see here. And I do think there's something special about going out in the wilderness during the winter time because you get that amazing visual of the snow-capped peaks versus the other parts of the year. Part 3, kind of moving on from there, our journey getting more used to driving the Star RV vehicle. So I'm gonna speed up here to kind of save you guys time, but basically we went from Mount Cook National Park, past the Lake Taupo area, up to Christchurch and back down to Queenstown. And during that time, we got even more comfortable driving the vehicle. Obviously through the night before, we got more comfortable using the toilets. Toilet experience wasn't too hard, but cleaning it out was a formative experience, I'd say, especially for a first timer like me. We actually quickly watched a YouTube video, plug right here, of this guy. Thank you so much for the instructions. And then we took care of it. You have to do that before you bring your vehicle back to get rid of that gray water. We didn't use the shower because basically it was a shorter trip. But you could see here, it's kind of small. And speaking of such, I'm gonna kind of cut over right now to give you guys a little walkthrough of what the vehicle looked like inside. Also note, during that next morning, we stopped at this lake here for some amazing views.
Alrighty, early morning stop here with the mountains in the background at Lake Pukaki.
And then I kind of fast forward past a lot of the same footage, a lot of amazing pastures. You saw a lot of deer, a lot of horses, a lot of sheep as we made our way from Mount Cook National Park over to Christchurch and back down to Queenstown. Was it worth it? So overall, I would say the RV experience was worth it. It was kind of a bougie mix, if you will, between going hotel or kind of doing tent camping. We really enjoyed it and we'll definitely do it again. As far as number 2, Mount Cook National Park, would we go back? Well, there's so many amazing places in the world that we don't go back to places. And then lastly, number 3, the road trip itself. The roads, kind of getting around in a big vehicle, the small 1-lane bridges. I would say it was good. Not too challenging if you've done it before like I have. Hey everybody, hopefully you got a ton of value from today's video. You guys know to the next video. Do not forget to explore more, and I'll see you there.